Say it slow right now until the truth comes out. I gave you everything, and I gave you everything. Say it slow right now, left alone, cried out. I gave you everything, and I gave you everything. I don't understand what they want from me. They take my hands, washing them in dirty water. Try to find what's right in a distant place, so far away. The silence fills my heart with empty space. But now I'm sure of where I'll go from here. And tensions rise, they push me to divert my vision. But I will break the ceiling and the walls that kept me in.
Good evening, everyone on the EU server. Tonight, we're coming back to the Professionals Tournament, rounds 8 to 9. Tonight's stream's not going to be very long. It's going to be 2 hours, hopefully. Not 3 hours like yesterday, which is very exhausting for a lot of people watching and playing. But I can see there are already a couple people waiting for Spirit Renery team, and we will definitely follow Spirit Renery team tonight. I'll call that BPS team Spirit Renery to avoid confusion with the other BPS team, which is Gravitas team. So if you are wondering why I'm saying Spirit Renery all the time, it's because there are 2 BPS teams in the Professionals Tournament. But let's go back to what you're seeing right now. For those of you who have no idea what you're watching tonight, and no idea why BPS is playing, or the 2 teams in BPS playing, this is the Professionals Tournament. And this is going to decide the top 4 clans that will advance to the Blitz Ultimate Cup. There are 8 teams in this tournament, and it will be played in a double round robin format, best of 7. There is a good chance, due to the high level of competitiveness on the EU server, we have a good chance of seeing teams tied with the same number of round wins or points. So in this situation, let me correct something here. We will be considering the following parameters. We'll first consider the head-to-head round wins. For example, let's take an example of the 2 BPS teams, Spirit Renery and Gravitas team. If they have the same number of round wins, or some people might call it fixture, if they have the same fixture wins, then if Spirit Renery won against Gravitas 2 times in the Professionals Tournament, they will qualify. I mean, Spirit Renery will be ahead of Gravitas. If both Spirit Renery team and Gravitas team have won one another once, then we will take a look at the head-to-head battle wins. I've changed the wording to match, to battle rather than match, because apparently the word match seems to be quite confusing. So the battle would pretty much be a lot clearer in this situation. So this is also changed for the next table you're seeing, from HTHM to HTHB. So the head-to-head battle wins in this situation is that if, let's say, Spirit Renery team lost against Gravitas 3-4, while Gravitas lost against Spirit Renery team 0-4. I mean, this is a double round robin, so think of the Premier League. Each team will play one another twice. With this example, you will have Spirit Renery team having 7 battle wins and Gravitas team having only 4 battle wins. However, if both of them have the same scoreline and won each other once, then we take a look at the total battle wins in the entire Professionals Tournament. In this case, this is considering the entire Professional Tournament matches, so it's not just about the head-to-head fixtures or something like that. It's just all the 14 matches. So in this situation, we will calculate the number of battle wins for the tied teams, and if that is still the same, we have to take a look at the battle duration, which is unlikely to be the same. If that's still the case, then we will have a playoff organized by Wargaming. So don't worry. Talia will only tell us the tiebreaker for battle duration if we have to go to that. So this is the current table. We have all the first stage matches being played out. Currently, Spirit Renery team is in the 3rd place, ahead of Ikra, because Spirit Renery team has won against Ikra the first time. Will they win them the second time here? APA and Serenity currently in the top 4 with 6 and 5 round wins. Gravitas at the moment is in the 5th place as they have won against the Pink team. Jokes in 7th place with 2 round wins, and Raid with only 1 round win. Tonight is going to be quite important. As you saw earlier on the Apex server, we have 3 teams tied with 6 round wins in the top 3, and then 3 teams tied with 5 round wins, spreading from the 4th place to the 6th place. And then we also have Riri in the 7th place with 3 round wins, but they have already won 20 battles. So this gets quite complicated for the Apex server, and this could very well happen on the EU server. The top 4 fight is on and alive. Hello to everyone. Hello to Cabello, Fire, and Ronnie, and Privyet. I hope I didn't butcher that pronunciation, but we are now following the professional tournaments starting from the 14th to the 21st of November. The top 4 will qualify to the Blitz Ultimate Cup, and the dates are the 2nd and 3rd of December, so mark these dates down on your diary. If Spirit Renery team qualifies to the Blitz Ultimate Cup, they will be back on the 2nd and the 3rd of December, where the most important part comes, because they will be fighting for the $50,000 prize pool. And of course, all of you in the chat would want them to do really well. And let's go to the schedule. This is the November schedule. You expect streams every day until Monday. We're already halfway through, so I'm almost there. I'm still alive. It's good. The challenges and the lower echelon championship matches will cease tomorrow, and I'll be following the lower echelon championship game, the grand final there, and there will be rewards for that stream, so pay attention to the instructions tomorrow. As for today, there are no rewards for the stream, but tomorrow there will be rewards, and there are loads to play for in the next few days. Everything will draw to a conclusion soon. And this is the bracket, the 8th round. I will be following the pink team versus... No, this is not right. Let me change immediately. There we go, this is correct. November the 18th. Fidget will be following Jokes versus Gravitas team. 9-0 will be following Serenity versus Raid. Ebonet and I will be following Spirit Renery team versus Ikra, with APA versus the pink team, followed by Ice and Shot and another CIS streamer. The maps are My Ruins, Alpenstadt, Fort Despair, and Normandy. This is the power rating that I designed by myself, and currently we have Spirit Renery team with the most rating at the 1st place, because they performed really well in the summer season, and that's why they have such a high rating at the moment. But that gap between the 1st and the 2nd place has been substantially reduced due to their somewhat lukewarm start to the professional tournament. They lost their first 3 rounds, but then they won their next 4. So they want to continue their form tonight. Otherwise, their top 4 hopes might be on the line here. This is the first time we have all the top 8 clans included in the top 8 of power rating. Vale dropped down to the 9th place because they were eliminated in the Challengers tournament, but then there's a good chance Raid will go back to the 9th place if they continue to lose their next few games. Okay. These are the maps for the 2022 autumn season without Ghost Factory and Hellas. There are 22 maps altogether, but it's not too important at the moment. Thomas Peterson is the prediction box that I've also created, which is using a completely new formula, but this is a round 8, not round 7. So the supercomputer is predicting the following results: Gravitas to win, Jokes for 3, Serenity to beat, Raid 4-0, despite Raid beating Serenity. And look at the odds shortening a lot. Previously Raid was at 16.01, but now, because Raid won against Serenity before, the odds have considerably reduced to 5.39. but then the scoreline is still 4-0, so there is still a good chance for Serenity to win. Spirit Renery team is predicted to win Ikra 4-1, and APA is predicted to win the Pink team 4-1. In the Challengers tournament, we have Onyx Gan team versus TQT first in the upper bracket final. That game is predicted to go to a tiebreaker. Meanwhile, we have Egocentric versus Win in the lower echelon championship. Apologize to Egocentric team in advance because I haven't had the time to deal with your clan logo, but I will do that after the stream, hopefully. But that game was predicted to go in heavy favor of Win 4-0 with some really good odds for Win, but Egocentric has made some huge upsets, especially against the Prof team, which is heavily tipped to qualify from their group. But it was Egocentric that qualified, and they've beaten Jesus in the upper bracket first round, and this is going to be their first big challenge in the Challengers tournament, in my opinion. Alright, so this is pretty much what I have to say. I'll join the room first, and then I will show you something in the lounge. So on the bottom right hand corner, you will see the timetable, not really specifying the times, but you will see the order of the game. So we have APA versus the Pink team, and I mean so on and so forth. It's quite self-explanatory. And then the next clan that Spirit Renery team is going to face will be APA, as highlighted in pale blue. So this is a match you want to also take notice of after the games against Ikra. The leaderboard on the top right hand corner, we have it's the same as the one I've shown in earlier in the slides, and I think we only have 3 minutes to go. I'm going to see if I can react to the chat. Once again, hello to Next, hello to Maxset, hello to Appor. I'm not sure if I pronounced your name correctly, but hello there. So far, the votes are hugely in favor of the Spirit Renery team, but I will end the poll later. Hello, it's not me. Hello, Nick Steve. Hello to AIM. Great to see a lot of people already here watching Spirit Renery team. They are a really good team, I can say, and I really love how they played in the summer season. They looked very dominant, but the teams on the EM server have trained really hard for the autumn season, and we see huge improvements for APA and Serenity. So Spirit Renery team cannot underestimate all these opponents in the professional tournament. Ikra, the Pink team, even Gravitas team are all decent opponents, and you don't want to look down upon these teams. I mean, Jokes and also Rage can also do really well on a really good day. Now, we're going to be seeing the tanks here. I'm going to show you the room now. So, we now have Spirit Renery team. They are waiting for Way to Success, also known as Ufbin, and I will call him Ufbin for now. We have General, Ghosty, Santiago. I think he is Nick Case, according to 9. I think, can someone just confirm that? Santiago is Nick Case, I believe. But I will call him Santiago for now, because I'm not 100% sure, but like, I remember this from 9 stream. Way to Success, I will call him Ufbin Josh, because you all know who Ufbin Josh is, not Way to Success. Zerd, also another legendary EU player. If you remember the Thomas versus Peter rivalry back in the days, it's iconic. Then DNPNJH, also known as Daniel. Not Daniel, Daniel. Yeah, I'll call him Daniel for now because I don't want to pronounce that one. And we also have F and Josh, or just F. In the year 113. On the other hand, we have Ikra with water, and other people, but we will tell you the lineups now. We have double 60TP, 1 M60, and quadruple Type 71s for Ikra team, and Spirit Renery team we have 1 140, 1 200 LT, quadruple Type 71, and 1 113, and I think I got the right scoreboard. Let's head up high now. Blue team, Ikra from the south spawn, Spirit Renery team, red team from the north spawn. Where will both teams go? Let's follow Uthman Josh in the T100 LT. He's going up to this slope, trying to get the spots in for Spirit Renery team. And Ikra is going for C, I believe. And a couple of tanks going to B. I think Uthman Josh is going to spot quite a couple of tanks here. Ikra, also they have some people from Gucci Gang team. So this is kind of a bit of a copy of the big CIS server rivalry. But as we could see, Spirit Renery team going straight into B, and we can see Ikra trying to deal with both Surd and Ghostly. Ikra, can they chip enough hit points away from Spirit Renery team? Spirit Renery getting very aggressive, but Ikra is holding up well. And Ikra is now relocating and regrouping with Spirit Renery team. A bit spread out, but they are gradually pushing the line forward, trying to get these 4 tanks out. They're trying to break down Ikra's defensive line. Konami needs to pull back because he does not have a lot of hit points. But Spirit Renery team is able to shut Konami down. The focus is on there, but Yevgeny is also being the focus of Spirit Renery team. And with Tokonami down, Ikra is trying to get Dan out of the way, and Still Loving You is trying to chase down that tank, but he isn't able to find that tank. This has descended into entropy. With Zerd now dead, Dan still alive, Still Loving You the focus, and also being taken out. As we are seeing Ikra trying to get Ghosty out of the way now. This is going to be really crucial. The hit points are neck and neck, but Spirit Renery team has more tanks. It's 6 versus 4. With this momentum at the moment, Spirit Renery team will have much better effective DPM, but they also need to have their focus fire still. Dan is now dead. Water is now dead. Uthman Josh trying to run away from the M60, but it's a great shot from Darkside, but can Uthman Josh put some shots onto Darkside? Yes, it's a good shot here. He's trying to run away. On the other hand, we are seeing Spirit Renery team trying to get Adolf out of the way. It's going to be the case, and Darkside will not be able to find Uthman Josh. Uthman Josh will live for another day. It's a miss from Uthman Josh, I believe. We're seeing Nick Hayes brawling with Darkside 1 versus 1, but Uthman Josh is supporting Nick Hayes there. We're going to zoom out for a moment here. With Kame also dying, Darkside also dead. This is a strong performance by Spirit Renery team. The focus fire is good. The hit point push sharing is amazing. Ikra, they tried to focus fire, but they were struggling to hold their defense a little bit, and they weren't doing the hit point push sharing as good as Spirit Renery team. And this is the difference here. It's all Spirit Renery team sharing their hit points nicely, rotating the low hit point targets to cover, and put the tanks with more hit points forward. And they've managed that brilliantly, and if they continue to do that, they will have a really good night. And so far, 5 tanks doing more than 2k, and Ikra also 5 tanks doing more than 2k. It was really close, but it was pretty down to the focus fire discipline of Spirit Renery team, able to isolate the low hit point pool targets out and take those tanks out quickly, giving Spirit Renery team the effective DPM. Well done to Spirit Renery team. They are now leading 1-0. Oh, 81. Wow. Thank you very much for the amazing support here. And let's hope. We're going to be seeing close games by both teams. And because so many people are watching, if we have time, we're going to analyze some of the matches. Some of the games that are being played in Mine Ruins. And I have to remember that I have my microphone up And we're going back to Mine Ruins. Ikra and Spirit Renery team. Spirit Renery. Spirit Renery team will be taking again the same lineup as last time, but with the T110E5 in favor of the Type 71. On the other hand, Ikra will take double 60TP, an IS4, an M60, a T100LT, and double Type 71. This time they're from the North spawn with Gravitas team. No, it is the Spirit Renery team from the South spawn. As we can see, they are going to swarm into A. Meanwhile, we have Ikra mostly going to B, and they've been spotted. Are we going to be seeing shots coming in? Ghosty preparing to make a shot onto Kame or Kame, I don't know. I apologize if I butcher your name here, Type 71. F has taken some hits here, but at the same time, Gravitas team is going to ignore A entirely, not giving information for Ikra. That's a good idea, because you don't want to give the information to Ikra that you're pushing from A. And we have George pushing very hardly here. I'm not sure that was the wrong word for this. Very hard on Ikra. They are now responding to this, but behind George is a lot of tanks. So this is going to descend into Pandemonium, as we can also see Ikra making a not really a push onto B. And they really need to do something, because so far so good for Spirit Renery team. Ikra has 2 bases though, so Spirit Renery team needs to get a tank out, and it's a really huge opportunity for them to do so, because Ikra so far is not well organized. Water is now quite low here, and we have a general getting an ammo rack. Yevgeny, what a shot there. Water is now dead. Darkside is trying to run away from the quagmire that he is facing at the moment, but Zerd cannot land a shell here. We are also seeing B. Now it's 2 versus 1. Ghosty is trying to stay alive, but it's a great shot onto Kame, and Ghosty has been killed. Finally, Darkside still survives. At BPS, they still have a chance though. The hit points are now in favor of Ikra. That ammo rack really hurt them. Yevgeny is now down, but we can see Zerd finding the focus of Still Loving You. Dan needs to get a shot in. It's going to be the case. It's 4 versus 3. Once again, Spirit Renery team, the effective DPM is going to be in full force. They're looking to make a comeback. And ammo rack, no problem. I think this is going to be quite important now. Santiago receives a big hit. There are 2 one-shots for Ikra team. But Santiago, or Nick Hayes, has been taken out. Adolf is now dead. And we are seeing now Josh, he's going to be quite crucial in that T100LT, going to get a crossfire. Dan is a one-shot. Josh is now reloaded, but fires at the wrong location at the same time. Dan needs to put a shot in onto Tokunami. It bounces onto Dan. That's a big bounce there. It's getting really, really close. Josh, great shot, great kill onto Tokunami. Darkside, a one-shot now. I don't think he is going to survive for any longer unless Dan is dead. Oh, Josh, 1 versus 1 against Darkside, but it's a bounce here. Darkside can put a shot onto Josh, but it's a track shot though. It's not going to land. Darkside, great shot onto Josh, but Josh gets Darkside off. Lots of pressure onto Josh, but it's okay for him. He is a seasoned player, and as you can see, wants a comeback for Spirit Renery team. The focus fire once again very on point, and Ikra, it's slightly disorganized, but that ammo rack right there gave them a lot of momentum, and suddenly they were able to consolidate and try to contend with Spirit Renery team with the focus fire. It was all over the place in terms of the shots and so on, but Spirit Renery team got everything together in the end. It was anyone's game, to be honest. It could have gone either way, with some of the bounces not going in favor of Ikra. I wonder what could have happened if Tokunami is able to put a shot in at the very end to kill a tank it could have turned out very differently. Well done to Spirit Renery team. I feel very sorry for General that got the Amarak, but it's 2-0 now for Spirit Renery team. They're living up the expectations here. Ikra, they are just struggling a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot. Their focus fire is good, but not as good as Spirit Renery team, just a little bit, just a little bit. I think with a different map now, these two clans going up very evenly, despite the scoreline suggesting otherwise. Ikra will need to keep their cool, keep their composure. I think they are almost there, but they have to be over the top here. They have to overperform now because Spirit Renery team so far looking unstoppable here. Hello, Haku, how are you doing? We are seeing a lots of fans from CIS server. That's really good. And yeah, I can. This is. I'm going to stop the poll now and see if we have the results. And at the moment, 96 votes, 90%. It said 90, not even 90% of you voted for Spirit Renery team to win this fight. Ikra from the south spawn. This time I'm just going to check my scoreline. Right, it's correct. They are going to see at the same time we are seeing Spirit Renery team also going to see. Well, this could get very brawly soon. Or we could look at Dark Side and the Sheridan spotted up Ufijaj. Ufijaj gets hit by Tokonami there. Oh, shots from Ikra also fired, but we could see a big push coming from BPS here. They're trying to get Yevgeny out of the way. This is huge. If they can take out this tank, that will give them the hit point pool lead and the cap lead. At the same time, we are seeing Ikra trying to make a response to stop the push coming from B. This is going to descend into Anarchy. Zerd is the focus for Ikra, but also at the same time, Spirit Renery team trying to get Tokonami out of the way. It's very tight here, but Tokonami will be the first tank down. As is, we are seeing 7 versus 6. Spirit Renery team, they are now looking for still over you as the focus goes to getting the kill there. Ikra now getting a kill onto Nick Case, but Yevgeny is a one shot with Spirit Renery team. Now finding water as the focus with that focus fire discipline from Spirit Renery team. Even if everything goes very messy, they can still focus fire really well. Darkside is now dead, and we can see Yevgeny a one-shot Zerd killed. It's a 5 versus 4. Water is now dead, and Yevgeny is struggling to survive. And I want to pronounce this this player there in the Type 71, but we focus on Kane. I should have done my homework. I'm very sorry. My CIS viewers, I'm very sorry. I should have done my homework for my for pronouncing the Ikra's team, the Ikra players there. But the has been taken out, and this will send Spirit Renery team to a match point. What a great game from Spirit Renery team. Decisive call to push at the very start of the match. This is brutal. This is just, as I said, just a brawl. Just both teams brawling out. Ikra is struggling to cope with the ferocity, the velocity, and the brutalness of Spirit Renery team. And I think they were just putting the I don't want to say they are putting their hands on the air right now, but I think they are just a bit petrified about that aggression from Spirit Renery team, and they are kind of struggling with the focus fire this time here. Spirit Renery team, I mean, the adrenaline is there, but this is not over yet here. Ikra can win 4 in a row and bring it back home. This has happened before. Will Spirit Renery team allow that to happen? We will find out here on Alpenstadt again. 3-0 now. Wow. What a game. Okay, now we are seeing Gravitas team. No, Gravitas is not here. Spirit Renery team with General, Ghosty, and Zerd in the triple IS4. Santiago, or Nick Hayes, in the Type 71. Way to Success or Ufbin Josh in the Sheridan. Dan in the Crown Bargain F in the M60. Ikra on the other hand, we have Water in the Type 71 alongside Car. I will check it after this match. Although I won't stream Ikra the next game, but yeah, it's a bit embarrassing to butcher the names of Ikra here when there are more than 100 people watching my stream at the moment. I am very sorry for any Ikra fans that are watching this stream right now. But if you do let me know about the pronunciation of the player names here, I'm very sure it's using an informal way of denoting the Cyrillic alphabet. Some people say it's the Russian chat alphabet, but then you don't know if all of them, like, of course not all of them will be from Russia, so might be not the most appropriate way to denote that, but I digress. We now go back to the Spirit Renery team, looking to go to both A and B. We could see, oh, Ikra being spotted near B. They're trying to go straight into B here. Will Gravitas, Spirit Renery team be able to push shots to reset B? As we can see, Ufbin Josh there. It's a miss, or it's a bounce onto Still Loving You. Or is it Evgeny? I wasn't paying attention there. But look at this. Ikra getting quite aggressive, pushing the lineup very hard, but at the same time we can see F and then putting the clip onto Water. The hit points are not in favor of Ikra now. Ikra needs to hold back for now. They need to chip away the hit points of Spirit Renery team. The adrenaline is running high on both teams, but it's not the time to make reckless moves and lose unnecessary hit points, because we are still talking about 3 cap points per 2 seconds of 5 cap points per 2 seconds of increase for both teams at the moment. Although Ikra will get C, that will speed things up, and Spirit Renery team needs to find a way to rotate. But Ikra is trying to bleed Spirit Renery team, and this is what I want to see. They have the cap lead. They don't need to do much. They don't have to push unless they find a weakness in Spirit Renery team lineup. And but the Type 71 crossing takes some hits here, trying to pull reverse a little bit and get some shots near B, but it wasn't successful. And we could see Santiago in the Type 71. Good shots onto Kane, I think. I'm sorry. This Type 71 here. Player number 2, let's call him. Player number 2 will receive a couple of hits. And Still Loving You is going to put a shot onto General. And Spirit Renery team is trying to get B back, but they're bleeding hit points in doing so. Ikra so far is containing Spirit Renery team nicely. But we can also see Darkside, can he put a shot onto Santiago, or will he brawl with Ufbin Josh? But I would have called for Santiago here, because he's a one-shot. You want tanks out Ikra. They are losing more hit points now. Tokonami is a one-shot here. Santiago is finally dead, but it's taken some time for them to do so. Now Gravitas, Spirit Renery team is pushing onto both player number 5 and also Tokonami here. And Tokonami is taken out. The player number 5 is not going to be long for this well. Spirit Renery team getting the tanks out, and this is important, and they have the caps as well. F is going to get the kill. It's a 6 versus 5 now, and Ikra is trying to go to A. They're trying to play cleverly with the caps, but they are losing a lot of hit points. Still Loving You. It's going to put a great shot to Zerd, but Zerd will get Still Loving You out of the way. Player number 2 bounces onto Ghosty, and Spirit Renery team still has 2 caps. This is looking very nicely for Spirit Renery team. Water is now a one-shot, and Ufbin Josh is dead. We have Dan coming in with that Kronwagen. Water bounces onto Dan, and Dan will do the favors for Spirit Renery team. Spirit Renery team, they're at 960 cap points here. Ikra can still make this close if they are now able to get the kills here. All Spirit Renery team needs to do is to stay safe and survive and not die. But General is dead. This could get to a sudden death situation if we are seeing more shots coming in. Darkside has to get Zerd out of the way. Yevgeny's down. Zerd is down, and if Darkseid can get F out, this could be big, but Darkseid will not be able to take out those low hit point targets, and Ikra will not be able to clutch the win from Spirit Renery team tonight. Spirit Renery team looking absolutely dominant in this matchup. Ikra, I think this is somewhat of a close game, but they were struggling a little bit with the focus focus fire potentially, and yeah, I would say that. And Spirit Renery team once again getting the tanks out, sorting their hit list, and they are very clear in their objective, in what tanks to go for, and yes, what a game for Spirit Renery team. 4-0, 4 tanks doing more than 2k, although Ikra has 5 tanks doing more than 2k. It could have been an Ikra's win if they were able to get those tanks out. It was really close. They managed to get General and also Zerd out, but they then lose 2 tanks. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for Ikra. Ikra will be hoping that the results of other matches will go in favor of them. But let's now look at the results here of other teams, of other tournaments and other games. So far, we are at the first game finished. The next opponent will be APA. Challengers tournament, we are going to be seeing both teams still playing at the moment, with lower echelon championship when still playing against Egocentric at the moment. I mean, our games have ended very quickly, and it's no surprise that we are with a 4-0 victory from Spirit Renery team. I mean, this will send Spirit Renery team to the 3rd place because they lost to Serenity. But Ikra, if Gravitas, the pink team, and also if Gravitas and the pink team don't win their games, which is possible, then Ikra could still be in the top 4. But if Ikra loses, if Gravitas team wins, what will happen? I'm going to show you now. If Gravitas wins, then Gravitas will overtake Ikra because Gravitas won against Ikra before. I'm going to switch back immediately. So yeah, we're going to wait for more results to come in, and I think with so many people of you watching my stream tonight, I am going to analyze a match, and let's actually begin with the second match of Unported, where hopefully there is already footage. Someone asked me to speak Russian, which I don't know Russian at all, so unfortunately I can't do that. Carello says no, they will find me butchering all those names of Ikra team, and I hope that someone can tell me how to pronounce them all. There are no gift codes. There are no codes. I'm gonna say hi to everyone so far. But again, I think I got some gaffes with me confusing Gravitas with Spirit Renery team, but it's Spirit Renery we are following tonight. Otherwise, you will be here. Alright. Let me just go in, and I would just mute the stream for a brief moment here, and yes, and I will find the second match on. Alpenstadt, and we will analyze this match because this is a lot more tactical than the matches on My Ruins, where they have ended in the brawl, as well as the first match on Alpenstadt, which it's going to be hard to analyze what you could do, but this match here, the second match on Alpenstadt, is more of a tactical win for Spirit Renery team. So let's find out how Ikra can do better, what Spirit Renery team can also do better. I don't know. We will try to see from that, and I'm going to switch the scenes very soon. Let's go. Let me unmute pronunciation of the player names here. I'm very sure it's using an informal way of denoting the Cyrillic alphabets. Some people say it's the Russian chat alphabet, but then you don't know if all of them, like, of course not all of them will be from Russia, so might be not the most appropriate way to denote that, but I digress. We now go back to the Spirit Renery team, looking to go to both A. Okay, so Ikra, what they did at the start is go straight into B. It's a very it's a big gamble here. The problem is with B, you can see the minimap. You can get shots from both ends because this is quite an overcap. So them not taking any, them taking a dark side in the light tank. He didn't spot potentially any. I mean, I'm not sure where he's gone actually. He's probably gone near C to spot up tanks that are trying to cross over to C. So at least they will get cover from this area. But I would still advise going there because it's going there to start unless you're very sure that Spirit Renery team won't be able to reset you. Otherwise, you're just losing hit points unnecessarily, which is something that I won't advise at the start. But then we know the first 3 matches have all gone down to a brawl. So I think what Ikra was thinking is that it will be another brawl again. They're trying to get aggressive, trying to get more advanced position, trying to pincer and corner BPS, but Spirit Renery team isn't doing that exactly. They're switching up. So suddenly, their move originally intended for one part of the strategy doesn't seem to work anymore. Let's see. A and B, we could see Ikra being spotted near B. They're trying to go straight into B here. Will gravitate. This is what I'm saying. So what can both Santiago and Josh is to reset B like that. But then, I mean, Santiago is going to get A because he's going to drive there close and trying to support that. And I think these 2 tanks, what they're trying to do, I think what also Spirit Renery team is waiting for a push coming in from B. So these 2 tanks are just staying there to provide cover for this tank that is in the middle. So I think this is how BPS want to start. They want to get A, deny anyone from pushing into B, and because they are from the north spawn, they will get a cap first, unless Ikra sends everyone there, which Josh may have to go back and get A, but we will see what both teams will do now. Spirit Renery team be able to push shots to reset B, as we can see Josh there. It's a miss. Ooh. It's a bounce onto Yevgeny, which now I paid attention. So bounce onto, but Ikra was allowed to capture B2 by surprise, because essentially BPS, but Renery team have 3 tanks there. They could very much engage these tanks here with Josh in the middle, could get shots in. They could potentially take a tank out already here, but they are waiting a little bit, so it's a bit weird. But then it's a completely different tempo, and Spirit Renery team still won. but it's something that I would have done. I mean, one thing is to prevent Ikra from getting B. The second thing, potentially a free tank for them to take out. But then, I mean, Ikra, I don't know. I would say worth the risk. Worth the risk. Let's continue to watch. Still loving you, or is it Evgeny? I wasn't paying attention there. But look at this. Ikra getting quite aggressive, pushing the lineup very hard. But at the same time, we can see F and then putting the clip onto water. The hit points are not. Oh, and this is something that Ikra doesn't want to do. They have the cap lead. I think they are quite shocked that Spirit Renery team didn't respond and they just got quite aggressive with the line. Look at this. They are really pushing close to Spirit Renery team. They have the C that can be captured easily. So they will have the cap lead and suddenly it's a complete change of tempo and immediately Water has taken some hits and it's not a good start, but at the same time General and Ghosty have taken some beating. So it's still quite neck and neck, but then Spirit Renery team has more hit points because they have taken IS-4s. This gives them a lot more hit points than the Type 71s. As you can see, it differs by about 400 hit points here. Let's continue. Not in favor of Ikra now. Ikra needs to hold back for now. They need to chip away the hit points of Spirit Renery team. The adrenaline is running high on both teams, but it's not the time to make reckless moves and lose unnecessary hit points because we're still talking about 3 cap points per 2 seconds of 5 cap points per 2 seconds to increase. I will mention that a lot throughout my stream. This is an important thing to remember. If you get 1 cap, most maps will give you 5 cap points of increase per 2 seconds. So I think a good indicator is that, I mean, a lot of teams will push at the 800 cap point mark. So you just have to do some maps here, but then I've always done the maps beforehand. So for 400 cap points, you are talking about just under 3 minutes before you have to make a move. If Ikra gets 600 cap points then we are talking about, let me just, about 1 minute and a half for you to respond to this. So it's still early stages. Spirit Renery team can stay where they are and continue to bleed Ikra, and UFB Judge will be very important to get the spots up for Spirit Renery team to push shots there. You want to whittle down the hit points of Ikra because that will give you a good opportunity to rush more easily when you have the lead with the hit points. However, Ikra is going to get C, so the cap increase will, the rate of cap increase will rise, and suddenly we are talking about 10 cap points per 2 seconds of increase, so you have to halve everything out. Suddenly you don't have a lot of time to respond, and this is usually the time where teams start to panic. But teams like Spirit Renery team, they are not scared. They know what to do in this situation, but you have to react quickly. You sometimes have to take a gamble on where to push. Although sometimes you might have to push onto a well-defended area, but then if you make a decisive move, sometimes the other team would struggle with focus fire and also hit point pool sharing, and this is exactly where you use your focus fire to your best effort. Well, we're going to continue to say what's going to happen next. 5 cap points with 2 seconds of increase for both teams at the moment. Although Ikra will get C, that will speed things up, and Spirit Renery team needs to find a way to rotate, but Ikra is trying to bleed. Okay, so now it's Spirit Renery team that needs to make a move. At the moment here, from the mini-map, you're seeing quite a 5 tanks here, 5 tanks. So on paper, you will think that they will rush here. However, I like how Ikra is trying to position themselves. They have tanks overlooking these areas. They have still looking to try and overlook this area. Water is staying back to avoid getting shot at, and player number 2 will try to prevent B from getting captured, so they're trying to defend multiple angles. But C will be the main focus here, because if Spirit Renery team decides to push onto C, that push will be spotted quite early on, and Ikra will have time to respond to that. But the main issue is they are not exactly together, so for them to consolidate that will take time, and Spirit Renery team will try to make use of this opportunity to shut down tanks. Like player number 2 could be an isolated target. We can potentially see Ufin Josh and also the case potentially trying to isolate tanks near Ikra spawn. So there are a multitude of permutations that you could use to shut down Ikra's team, and all Spirit Renery team needs is a good decisive push and hope for the best. But they also have to take note of B, because now Ikra has 2 caps, they will have lots of cap points of increase, so they have to be mindful of B. They will have to start taking B during the push, not at the start of the push as well, because also Ikra is looking at B. So this is going to be a hard one, but not unmanageable. Spirit Renery team, and this is what I want to see, they have the cap lead. They don't need to do much. They don't have to push unless they find a weakness in Spirit Renery team lineup. And oh, I think this is a mistake here. Shouldn't have crossed like that. And this is good job from the IS4s to try and bleed this tank. I think this is a main mistake here. I think if he stayed where they are, maybe we won't be able to take that, or maybe just have to kind of side scrape with the building here. But this is not a good move. Ah my gosh. But oh, the Type 71 crossing takes some hits here, trying to pull reverse a little bit and get some shots near B, but it wasn't successful, and we could see now Ikra guesses that Spirit Renery team will be pushing through Ikra's team spawn, and they are putting tanks there. But at the same time, Spirit Renery, they have a lot of tanks near B, so they can crowd into B and try to force a cap and defend. But will Ikra be able to reset B? What will these two teams now do? Santiago in the Type 71. Good shots onto Kane, I think. I'm sorry. This Type 71 here. Player number 2, let's call him. Player number 2 will receive a couple of hits. Again, I think a problem is Ikra, they think Nick Ace is isolated, but they seem to be shot at by a lot by a crossfire, both general. It's really good job for Spirit Renery team. It looks like Nick Case is isolated. He is not. You have also Dan coming in from the top as well, so I won't push onto Nick Case here. I think you have to either rely on this tank. It took a couple of hits, try to take out this tank, and also there's a light tank there, also providing shots, although it will be hard because Santiago is showing their frontal armor. Still, you should not go in front, because this is exactly what Spirit Renery team wants Ikra to do. And Still Loving You is going to put a shot onto General, and Spirit Renery team is trying to get B back, but they're bleeding hit points in doing so. Ikra so far is containing Spirit Renery team nicely, but we can also see Darkside, can he put a shot onto Santiago, or will he brawl with Ufijaj? But I would have called for Santiago here, because he's... Yep. This is now... I didn't notice that Darkside can put shots, so... Now this tank will go down, like what these two tanks are trying to do, but they really need support though. I would say 3 tanks would help better. So I think Ikra a little bit over the place with how to respond to Spirit Renery team's push. And Spirit Renery is in control of the situation. They got B nicely, and they can continue to do. They can continue to control the situation. Is a one shot. You want tanks out. Ikra, they are losing more hit points now. Tokonami is a one shot here. Santiago is finally dead, but it's taken some time for them to do so. Now Gravitas Spirit Renery team is pushing onto both player number. Okay, so I also like what Spirit Renery team is trying to do. Let's actually rewind a little bit, and you might have missed what has just happened. Okay, so we were in the situation where Santiago is isolated and will be taken out. I think what happens next, fast forward 5 seconds, Dan in that Crown Bargain will not engage, will disengage. Ufin Josh runs away, and we are seeing these tanks of IS-4 after capturing B turn their attention towards Ikra's tanks trying to push onto Zerd and so forth. And suddenly these two Ikra tanks found an isolated tank, but suddenly they are under a huge numerical disadvantage. Tokonami now a one shot. So I like how Gravitar Spirit Renery team just relocated and just focused on these two tanks. And I mean, they will be idle for a really long time if they try to provide support for Nick Cage. So Nick Cage unfortunately will be the sacrificial lamb, but that's okay. They have caps, they have some hit points. They just need to get some tanks out, and that's it. Konami is a one shot here. Santiago is finally dead, but it's taken some time for them to do so. Now Gravitas Spirit Renery team is pushing onto both player number 5 and also Tokonami here. And Tokonami is taken out. The player number 5 is not going to be long for this well. Spirit Renery team getting the tanks out, and this is important. Yes, unfortunately, I think this has stalled Spirit Renery team a little bit. I think they were sending a little bit too many tanks for player number 5 who was running away. That allowed Ikra to kind of fight back a little bit as they flanked from behind and tried to put shots onto the tanks that were trying to get both Tokonami and also player number 5 out, which means they are able to put shots there. So in my opinion, they allocated nicely for Ghosty to take the kill, to make the kill there, but you just only need like 2 tanks. Oh my god, my mouse just kind of dirt. Okay, sorry, my mouse just disturbed. I would have called for these 2 tanks maybe to go back and deal with the tanks that are kind of behind, but then it's not like a major mistake, to be honest with you. It just gave a little bit of a opportunity for Ikra. So Tokonami here, and Tokonami getting the tanks out, and this is important, and they have the caps as well. F is going to get the kill. It's a 6 versus 5 now, and Ikra is trying to go to A. They're trying to play cleverly with the caps, but they are losing a lot of hit points. Still loving. Okay, also a good idea to get Ufin Josh out. He can't run away. He should have kind of run away quickly enough. Although he wants to reset A, I think this is exactly what he's trying to do. Buy some time, but this is going to be a bit difficult here. It's going to put a great shot to Zerd, but Zerd will get Silver for you out of the way. Player number 2 bounces onto Ghosty, and Spirit Renery team still has 2 caps. This is looking very nicely for Spirit Renery team. Water. Okay, at this point now it's 5 versus 3. There are lots of one shots that Spirit Renery team manages to keep the tanks alive. That is important. Meanwhile, Ikra is very spread out. So you have water there, here, and then you have 2 all tanks near A. At this point, Spirit Renery team 880 cap points. They need a kill. They have to make sure the tanks there survive and rely on Dan to take out the remaining tanks. This tank is going to be important, and also get C. C is not captured by Spirit Renery team at the moment, so I would just get all the Spirit Renery tanks, these 3 tanks, to safety. Don't engage with the tanks of Ikra after killing water. And with this, it's Spirit Renery team's win. So this is pretty much what I think about this match. And although I hope this is not too confusing, although kind of is a bit of a confusing analysis, but let's go back and we will take a look at the results of different tournaments and games. Win has won against Egocentric 4-2, and I will update the results in the launch very quickly. It's 4-2 win. And after that, we have Challengers Tournament. Games are TQT 4-0 against Onyx Gan team. Well done there. So I'm going to show you what's going to happen next on Challengers and Lower Echelon Championship. So this is it. We have Onyx Gan team against ASN, which will be played in around 18 minutes. I won't be streaming this. And then I have Egocentric versus Zenith. That will be played also in around 18 minutes. And I'll be following the grand finals tomorrow. Will Zenith be able to beat Egocentric, or will Egocentric again doing an upset and win against Zenith? Okay, let's get that out of the way, and let's take a look at the results of the professionals tournament. Do we have all the results ready? And I think we do here. We're going to be seeing Gravitas team beating Jokes 4-1, with Serenity beating Raid this time 4-1, so no more upsets for them. Oh, APA, great result here against the Pink team. The Pink team struggling. Now, this is going to put them in a really dire situation. The next game they will be playing against is going to be Serenity versus the Pink team. If the Pink team doesn't win against Serenity, I think we could also see. We could safely say. I don't think we can safely say that yet, but their chances in the top 4 are decreasing. Gravitas winning against Jokes will put them to the 4th place, knocking down Ikra, and the top 6 clans have already won more than 20 battle wins. So some of you asked me what it means by HTHB and HT and BW. So I'm going to actually denote that on to this slide, and I can tell you exactly the meaning here. Alright, I'm going to switch the screens and I'm going to show you here now. Head-to-head round wins, it's HTH. So once again, you're seeing Gravitas versus Jokes. Gravitas won against Jokes in the first stage, so they are ahead in this tiebreaker and they're in the top 4. As for the head-to-head battle wins, it's HTHB, so that means it's the number of battle wins for the tied clans head-to-head. So we have Gravitas against Ikra. With that, we have Ikra losing 2-4 in the first game against Gravitas team. So this is why, this is not why Gravitas got on top, because Gravitas, they got on top with the HTH. But just to let you know what it means by HTHB, because Gravitas won 4-2, so you see the number 4 there, and Ikra with the number 2. Battle wins is just the total number of battle wins, or the total number of victories in the entire tournament. So at the moment we have Spirit Renery team with 25 battle wins. Okay. Right, so hopefully that is clear enough for the people who asked me about what it means by these abbreviations. Once again, I don't know any Russian, so I can't speak that language. I am very sorry, but the word I can say is Privyet to everyone. I'm just going to see the chat right now and see if I am missing any questions. Thank you, Vitally, for the compliments for the commentary and analysis. I am really humbled that you like my commentary and analysis. Thank you very much. And thank you for. Also, there's comments about also about my commentary and analysis, and it's really great to know. It's been a pleasure to know that you have learned a lot in the last few days by watching my streams, and I hope that will help your team a lot in tournaments. And I really wish your team all the best in the future seasons. Yeah, I hope what I explained now, just now, for HGH and HGHB would answer your questions. And thank you, Ilya, as well. When the next game begin will be 4 past 8 in the 4 past 9 in the Central European time. And thank you for Matt for the comment. Spirit Renery team should not be in the second place. I am very sure about that because APA Serenity 7-6. Yeah, they APA Serenity both won, so they are going to get a round win. Spirit Renery team also got a round win, so they are still in the third place at the moment. So there is nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I hope I got all of your. I hope I have answered all of your questions so far. That is in the chat right now. Hello, Samira. How are you doing? Okay, good. Now everything's out of the way. Now I'm going to upload everything to my server. And then I will show you different stuff. And then I will show you the predictions for the next round of games. Okay, now I can safely update this. I'll be following APA next, which they have won against the Paint team 4-3. It was very close. Will Spirit Renery team able to dent APA's armor, get a chink in their armor, although APA is very strong in the top 4 right now. They look set to qualify. Unlike the Apex server where none of the teams have got 7 round wins, so EU server is not as insane in terms of the top 4 fights, but I digress. The next maps are Molendyke, Wintermine, Northgale, Rockfield, and also New Bay. Okay. I would key in the results for my elo rating, for my power rating, and generate predictions next. Please bear with me on this. And I will be back very soon. Just wait for a moment and just enjoy the music while I'm inputting the results. Alright, we have the odds. Thomas Peterson has made the following predictions, and we still have some time. Jokes versus Raid is predicted to go in favor of Jokes 4-3, and this is going to be a close one. Jokes previously beat Raid 4-3, so can this happen again? We'll find out soon. Gravitas has been predicted to win Ikra 4-3, and again the odds are quite close. Serenity is predicted to win Pink Team 4-2. Finally, Spirit Renery team is predicted to win APA 4-3. So this round of games, we are anticipating a lot of tiebreakers. These are very closely matched games. And finally, Challengers Tournament, we have Onyx Scan team against ASN. Hopefully, we are seeing Onyx Scan team picking up the performance, but it will be close. ASN will be able to bring it a close one, with Zenith predicted to win Egocentric 4-1. So is this going to be the case? I think there are a couple of upsets that were not correctly predicted by Thomas Peterson. So this supercomputer right here, Thomas Peterson has not done a better job than Madbox. Madbox was quite spot on with a lot of the outcome predictions. So far 70% of the predictions have been correct, but for EU server just slightly above 60%. So you can still trust this, but you don't want to have all of your money on the predictions there. So let me just upload the results to my Discord server as well. And yeah, we only have 4 minutes to go, so I'm going to go into the room now. Okay, now I'm in, and let me just Ilya is praying for BPS. They are very nervous. I can feel you, because APA is a strong team. But BPS, if they play like they did against Ikra, the sky is the limit, to be honest with you. They can do really well. There's a lot. I'm trying to translate some of your messages. Yeah, there will be commentary for the second. Yeah, there will be Russian commentary. I think I don't know how to say this, but one of the Russian CIS streamers will stream APA. So yeah, a lot of BPS supporters here. But let's continue this hype. We're going to be seeing some action soon. No bets. No betting. This is just the probability and the chances here. So unfortunately, there are no events on my server that will be like the Clan Wars Asia server, where you can put your predictions and put the amount of points that you have with on the server. I don't have that event, so I'm so sorry that this is not there, but we will see. Spirit Renery team is now ready. We have 2 more minutes to go. I will go to the room very soon. Okay, so you are now seeing the lineups of both teams. Spirit Renery. Oh, I love what they're thinking at the moment. Josh and that Death Star. Wow. can he do it with that? Double type 71s, double IS4, a Crown Bargain, and the 215B, the Death Star, or the FV215B 183. That alpha damage is not something you want to receive. But the tank is not exactly accurate either. But will he take the Minotauro instead? Yagaru, he is taking the Yagaru. Still a lot of alpha damage, but not as hurtful as the Death Star. But maybe he has another tank choice to go for. Foch, a completely different tank. That he's not going for the Foch. He's going for the FE405. At this point, he's going to get ready in all tier 10 TDs. Oh, he's going back to the Sheridan. He's not going to play in the Death Star. Although I like to see a top team playing the Death Star on Molendijk. You have an open area to the northwest side of the map. The Death Star potentially could work in the right positions. I won't rule that out, to be honest with you. But as we know, it doesn't have a lot of hit points. The gun is just a bit eh. And APA will go in. Now, we're seeing APA with a 60 TP, double IS4 T100 LT, and triple Type 71. We could see Spirit Renery team from the south side and APA blue team from the north spawn. We will go up high and see what both teams are going to do. We are now seeing air raids onto the city, which is well, it's not called by any of the clans here. No one has called for an air raid onto the city. No tank is there, so no damage has been done. We could see Ufi Josh being spotted up last, and also Uni gets shot at, but look at Kitsune immediately dropping into C, trying to get a cap lead for APA. Meanwhile, Spirit Renery team, they're holding back. They're not making a lot of aggressive moves at the moment here. They might try to get A, and Santiago is steadily going to that area. But look at APA. They got C. Are they going to make a push? Potentially, it could work, but they don't have a lot of information. Are they going to take a deep breath and, you know, make a push? I think they're waiting on Object 3 to see if they find something more. A is going to be captured, but look at this. Spirit Renery team will send 3 tanks there, so maybe this is an indication. I think APA could potentially make use of this moment to push, but they are not doing exactly that. That is because they have the cap lead. They don't want to make unnecessary moves, although they really have not. They have less to lose compared to Spirit Renery team in terms of the position of the leaderboard they are in at the moment. I mean, at that moment when Spirit Renery team is capturing A with 3 tanks, which could be indicative when playing, then I would have to make that call. These 2 tanks could be taken out in no time, and an F there will have to come in. So this is an opportunity wasted potentially. But APA is still doing nicely with the hit point the hit point spots. They're now going to make a push onto Ghosty in general, and this could be big. But then, have they made this move a little bit too late? Because at the same time, Spirit Renery has now come back to support the team. And the focus now onto Ghosty. General is also quite low. And Ghosty a one-shot General, and Ghosty still hanging on. And the tanks from behind him, Spirit Renery is trying to come to support them. But it might be too late. We have General and Ghosty now down. Dan is going to be the next focus for APA, but BPS is trying to shut down Object 3. APA is not making it easy for Spirit Renery team to bring Crossfire in, and Dan is going to struggle. If Spirit Renery team is doing nothing, then APA is going to win this one quite comfortably. Understandably, we have Uni trying to put shots onto Dan, and Fansium gets shot at by a lot. APA don't want to drop their guard down. As we can see, a 1 versus 1 is happening right here. We follow that right now. Kitsune versus Upinjosh, 1 versus 1. It's a miss. It's a bounce from Kitsune to Kitsune from Upinjosh. And Kitsune is steadily winning this 1 versus 1 fight. We can also see some action going on in the middle. APA coming to push there, but Uff and Josh will not last for long. And APA looking strong, trying to get both F and Zerd out of the way. And there's nothing much Spirit Renery team could do. Uni down to 1 shot, F gets taken out, and Zerd is the last person standing. Well done to APA. And they have 1,000 cap points. Look at the damage here. We have Spirit Renery team, 3 tanks doing more than 2k, and APA, 6 tanks doing more than 2k. So it's pretty much a dominant game for APA. I think the major problem for Spirit Renery team here is there are tanks nearby, but where is the support? The support seems to be a bit non-existent here, especially when APA timed the push a bit too late, which actually allowed Spirit Renery team to get in position to support those 2 tanks. So I think Spirit Renery team needs to refigure that strategy. They have to find out how to support those 2 tanks better, because even if APA made a push a little bit earlier, a bit later, Spirit Renery team wasn't able to help at all. And this is a problem. You don't want to lose 2 tanks so early in the game, and in a 5 versus 7 situation, that will be very hard for you to make a comeback. You have a big numerical disadvantage and hit point disadvantage. You also have very low effective DPM. So I think it's a tactical misplay for Spirit Renery team, but they can absolutely make a comeback next. So we're going back to 100 viewers at one point. Great to see that. And now we're seeing changes for Spirit Renery team: double IS4, double Type 71, a 1 T100 LT, a Crown Wagon, and F in an F3215B. APA will go for double IS4, double 60 TP, a Sheridan, a T100 LT, and also a Type 71. APA, I know they are very good with strategies. Their brawls are also not bad at all. Their focus fire is good. I think Spirit Renery team hasn't shown their best yet, and considering how well Spirit Renery team could play, I think both teams, I think APA do not want to get too comfortable yet. We could see them taking 2 light tanks, bringing them at a hit point disadvantage at the start. We will follow last AFK in the Sheridan, going to get the spots up for APA and find out where Spirit Renery team is. Well, we can see that last AFK spotted up then, and General and Uff, great shot onto last here. Look at Uff position here. A great crossfire. He will go straight into A, try to get a cap lead for Spirit Renery team. Oh, he spotted up Kitsune. Another 1 versus 1 fight potentially there. Uff like, no, I'm getting out of here. I don't want to brawl and lose all my hit points. You don't want to bring your team to a hit point and tank disadvantage, though. We'll see Spirit Renery team trying to make a big push onto Kitsune. Kitsune needs help. Kitsune might go away very quickly here. Ooh, look at a crossfire going to Santiago. Immediately Santiago has to pull back because he can't push forward, allowing Zerd to come in and get Kitsune out of the way. It's now 7 versus 2. So far so good for Spirit Renery team. APA, however, they found a weakness in Spirit Renery team defensive line. Big shots onto Ghosty, but they have practiced restraint. They are not going to push further. But the problem is Uff, look at this, the crossfire. I mean, he has also crossfire to his left. Ventium's trying to push onto Zerd alongside last AFK. Can APA get the tanks out here? At the same time, the Renery team is trying to make a play on B. It's all about APA, where they can get the tanks near A more quickly. They lost the tank. They desperately need to get a tank kill here. At the same time, we are seeing Spirit Renery team making a huge play onto Uni. Uni's not long for this world, and then is steadily coming in, and he's going to come in and going to put shots, but Uni just went back in time. Ventium is a one-shot. This has descended into Pandemonium. It's all over the place. It's Dog Dinner with Josh rolling with last AFK. 1 versus 1. Big 80 shot at the back. Last AFK down. El Mary down. Object 3 down. Uni not long. And will be taken out as well. Last person standing is Days. Well done to Spirit Renery team. Held their ground really well. Got an important kill to Kitsune at the first. Although APA has shots trying to prevent anyone pushing onto Kitsune, but it was not enough. They fell apart pretty much in the mid to late game phases, where they weren't able to consolidate the forces and isolate Spirit Renery team tanks, and their hesitation and lack of efficiency hurt them a lot. Spirit Renery team just, once again, the focus fire is good. They were able to put APA team in a positional disadvantage. So this is going up evenly, and we like to see it, and it's not a 1-1, it's a 4-0 victory for Spirit Renery team. And Spirit Renery team, can they maintain this performance on to the next few matches here? And we're going to end the poll here with 80% of you saying Spirit Renery team will win this matchup. Oh, we got some APA fans here. Yes, Seriga just confirmed in the chat that Santiago is Nikkei's. So I thought I thought I might be wrong about that, but I am right about this. Great to see Unknown Watcher here. Thank you for joining in. BPS is an international clan. It's not a Russian clan. In fact, you can't have a Russian clan playing in these stages due to the 2 foreign player rule. So it's so I mean, at least I believe General is Czech. Ghosty, I'm not sure if he is Italian. Zerd is Swedish, which I know. Dan is Spanish, if I remember correctly. The F is also from Czech. Someone has to remind me about this. I am not 100% sure, but I'm like 70% sure. APA, on the other hand, also another international clan, but a lot of them are from Poland. The 3, Unia from Poland. I think Last AFK is also from there. Ventium, I know, is from the Netherlands, and Days is from France, if I remember correctly. And Murray is from Finland, and I forgot about Kitsune. The previous username, they've changed their name, but the last name I just couldn't remember, because we just saw Josh getting a lot of spots onto Ventium and Uni. That's important. Look at Ventium taking a beating from the focus, from the cross shots at the very far back of Spirit Renery team. A is being captured by Kitsune at the moment. Let's follow Kitsune right now. Will he be decapped? Not the case. APA will get the cap lead, and Days will drop into C, trying to force an issue onto the Spirit Renery team, create pressure for them. And Spirit Renery, are they looking to make a rotation back through their spawn and try to take Days out? We can see shots coming into Spirit Renery team, but Days might be in deep trouble. F has been shot at. Object 3 is also quite isolated. I think Spirit Renery team, if they go aggressive now and take out both Days and Object 3, they have the advantage, but they are approaching this one carefully. At the same time, we are seeing another push coming from Zerd, looking to get B, and some tanks near the middle, but they're going to find no one. We're going to see a big fight happening around C, and Josh has now come in to take the tanks out. In the T100 LT, looking for Object 3 now. It's going to be a bounce, sadly, but Spirit Renery team, they found Days isolated at the same time. We're seeing the push from the middle is gradually tailing off Days has been taken out, and APA looking to take out both Zerd and Santiago, or Nick Ace. Object 3 is also not long enough for this world. APA needs to start killing off tanks because the Renery team is doing a really great job shutting down the C-cap. But they weren't able to do so for now. They are taking a lot of time in taking out Santiago or Nick Ace. And Zerd is quite low now, but already Object 3 is down. It's a 6 versus 7, the hit points are neck and neck, but APA they don't have the tank advantage. Oh, that was a big bounce from El Mary. This is not good at all. Oh, Dan has been taken out. Last AFK, I think he will be the savior for the APA team, but look at Way to Success or Ufin Josh now looking at last AFK. Unfortunately, I think we are going to be seeing a 1 versus 1 brawl, but last AFK is still reloading at the moment. I'm not sure if he's able to survive this. Oh my gosh, Ufin Josh absolutely have to land all the shells. The last AFK, great shell here, another shell, but Ufin Josh is able to get last AFK out. 2 tanks killed in quick succession. Zerd and General are now out. FB Josh look is going to come in. Not a lot of hit points though, but Ghosty still very healthy. It all depends on whether Ufin Josh is able to get some kills or maybe try to take A. At the moment here, Spirit Renery team, they don't have the cap lead. So APA, they have the advantage. They just don't want to lose too many hit points. I'm a bit worried about Spirit Renery team here because they have a one-shot of Ufin Josh. Oh, there are some shots, there's some engagement going on. Kitsune in that Team 100 LT. Oh, gets a kill onto F. That's a big kill here, and Kitsune might look to get C, but Ghosty might be there to stop that from happening. APA also gets B, unless BPS is able to get a miracle here, which is going to be unlikely. I think this is going to be APA's game. Well done to APA here. Oh, but the kill might be good. A kill might be good. Ghosty can't fluff the shell. It will be a kill. Kitsune is now out. Way to Success. Can he kill tanks? Oh, Ventia misses, but El Mary will kill Ufin Josh, sending Ufin Josh back to the garage. Oh, APA, what a game it is. How did they even manage to come back here? Spirit Renery team did so well in the northeastern corner. I completely lost concentration on what was happening on APA's side. Huge comeback here. Huge comeback. Maybe a couple of bounced shots might have gone against Spirit Renery team. It was really close. Once again, Ufin Josh very crucial in that T100 LT. But the teammates that are near B haven't done a lot. They weren't able to deal with the aggression of APA on B. And the cap points are also going against Spirit Renery team, so it's pretty much a lot of pressure on the Spirit Renery team. And now we're coming back to Wittenby Novka. So far so good for APA. They are now leading 2-1. If they win against Spirit Renery team, they will potentially have 8 round wins and will pull off a 4 round win advantage. And after tonight, we only have 5 more rounds to go. And this puts them in a really good situation. And if they continue to perform well tomorrow, 2 days after, there is a chance that they can qualify to the top 4 with a game at hand, with a day at hand. They will definitely want to do this because they don't want to spend too much energy for the last 3 matches, which again will take a really long time, but we will also follow a lot of stuff there. We'll go back to Wintermine Novka, APA versus BPS. Let's go. Now, Spirit Renery team versus APA. This time, APA from the north spawn with Spirit Renery team from the south. Let's have a high and see where they're going here. Kitsune in the T100 LT will look to get to be those spots on, oh, going up this hill there. Try to get spots for APA. We are seeing Dan being spotted here. Kitsune, great shot there onto Dan, revealing himself. Will go down. Mary dodges a shot coming from Dan. Not the best start for Spirit Renery team, but not a definitive end for them. They still can bring it back with a couple of shots going in their favor, and Nick Hayes will go straight into A from way to success, or Ufi Josh will cap A at the same time alongside Nick Hayes. A will be captured, and Dan holding there near B. He is going to be the pressure point for Spirit Renery team. If he collapses, then things could go really, really south. Sventium will get C with impunity and will bring APA a tank away from flipping their cap points. Once again, Zerd has lost a lot of hit points at the back. Oh, if Spirit Renery team keeps on bleeding, this is going to hurt their chances in the push. What I was trying to say is that if APA loses a tank, they lose 40 cap points. If Spirit Renery kills a tank, they get 40 cap points. So we're talking about an 80 cap gap, and that would essentially flip the cap points in favor of APA. But look at Zerd, he's definitely not going to survive for long. I think Spirit Renery seems looking for a push now. Zerd is out. APA has the tank advantage, and this is what Spirit Renery team is going to do. They're trying to get Ventium out of the way. Ventium is unfortunately left behind. He can't run away, so what he's trying to do at the moment is trying to buy time for APA, allow BPS or Spirit Renery team to deal with Ventium for a longer time. But last AFK is also getting shot at. Spirit Renery team, suddenly they have done a good job in chipping away hit points at APA. Now APA, they're feeling it. They're going to push onto Dan. Look at the object 3. The Type 17 are ignoring Dan, and for now, I'm not sure if that's the best call, but he's going to go back and try to put shot onto Dan. This is going to be important. Ventium is down. We are seeing a huge mass over the B side. F looking to tee up with Dan onto Uni. He has to put that shot in, but it's a bounce though. Dan is a one shot. He has to put something here. Oh, Kitsune absolutely pocketing Ufi Josh at the moment. Great kill near A. And we can also see last AFK being taken out. It's a 5 versus 4. Uni is being taken out. BPS is steadily coming together near B. El Murray's the focus. We are seeing El Murray now not lasting for long. FB Josh is trying to hold, but he's going to buy time. Object 3 has to penetrate the shots, but F bounces yet once again. He is going to give away the advantage now. BPS has, and we're seeing Nick Hayes holding there. He has to bounce some shots. Days coming in. Days needs to land a shot here onto Nick Hayes. He does. There is still a chance. There is still hope for APA. They got 2 caps now, and with Spirit Renery team, they don't have a light tank, and this can be crucial. General needs to land a shot onto Days. Meanwhile, Kitsune is coming from behind, trying to get Ghosty out of the way. Ghosty, he's going to put a big shot. No, he's not able to put a shot onto Kitsune. He's going to put a shot onto Object 3. Can't bounce that shot. He got a kill, but it's going to be enough though. BPS, they need a kill onto Kitsune. They've managed to corner Kitsune now, and Kitsune needs 175 more cap points. We're talking about 30 more seconds to go. Kitsune just needs to survive for 30 more seconds. Or maybe the wrong math. I think it's 15 seconds, 15 more seconds actually. And Kitsune will win this one, but he couldn't survive because General comes from the back side, getting Kitsune out of the fight. Yeah, I did the mental wrong, the math wrong. It was just only around 15 seconds for Kitsune to survive, but he couldn't last that long. What a game for Spirit Renery team. The focus was on point APA. I think they were struggling a little bit with the organization. They were spreading out a lot, and they weren't able. I mean, especially near B, they were very aggressive on B, but they weren't able to get the tanks out there, and I think that hurt their chances in the end. Ventium buying time for APA, which is good, but Spirit Renery team was very efficient there. So the tanks, after killing Ventium, are able to regroup, and everything comes together for Spirit Renery team. Now this is a 2-2 APA and Spirit Renery team. I love how this match is going up evenly with BPS quintuple type 71s, F in the 215B, way to success in the T100 LT again. APA, are they doing something different this time? Do I still have water? Yes, I still have water. Ooh. Oh dear. Oh, come on, the chat has gone a little bit awry here, please. We are here for good games, we are not here for shouting and so on. Oh dear, oh dear. I need my mod's help. Please practice restraint on the chat. We are here for good games. I hope this doesn't descend into anarchy in the chat. Ooh. This could get really sticky, so please calm down. Both teams have practiced a lot for the professional tournament, and I only could wish them all the best. But consider now in the Sheridan trying to get the spots for APA, and I think what Ufbija is going to do. Oh, great shot to F here by Kitsuna. Has taken a couple of hits. What Ufbija is doing here, the 200 LT is trying to stop tanks from going into C and get a cap. But F has been spotted and took a lot of hits there. APA with a good start. And consider will now try to drop into A and cap that base. That will give APA the cap lead and way to success. Or Ufbija circling around C, hovering around that area. He's not trying to give away information, which is good. But at the same time, they don't have the cap lead, so they have to get a cap. And C is the cap that they could get, and it's going to be captured by General. Once again, Ufbija is running around, getting spots for the team, and he's going to go back into C, try to cap it out. And C will be captured again. To Renery team, only one kill away from flipping. And there we are. APA, blue team. They just have to defend. They have the cap lead. They also have the hit point pool lead. They don't have to lose a lot of hit points. They just have to be careful. And my right ear suddenly just loses hearing. Hopefully that can be recovered soon. Alright, way to success in the T100 LT. It's still running around, it's trying to give information, but he's not able to spot tanks of APA. He's not spotting up a booster. Maybe this is information for BPS that APA is near A. Most of the tanks near A, and a couple of tanks near the spawn. Where can the Spirit Renery team push? Can they go to B? Last AFK is going to deal with that. Kitsuna is also going to deal with that, so they can't really go to B at the very start, but it's... But also look at Object 3 and Uni waiting for Spirit Renery team to show up in APA spawn. They are waiting. They are patiently waiting, and oh, Uni has just been spotted. Ufbija not shooting, not unveiling. Oh, shoots. Ufbija has been spotted. Will run away. Won't get a shot. Won't be shot at. This is why I said. Well, this is why I sometimes say you sometimes don't want to shoot in a light tank because you might give away your camo rating. Here we are seeing APA looking to make a call, trying to push onto or back to their spawn. This is a main call from APA. Will this work? Meanwhile, we have Spirit Renery team looking to make a play on Daze. Daze is running away. APA is retreating at this point. And Uni and Object 3 now going immediately onto C. Oh, this is a big call. And BPS at the same time has caught Daze off guard. And we're going to follow the case at the moment here. Daze, can he run away quickly enough? But he's going to get shot at by Ventium. Ventium in the M6 Yo. We can also see a lot of action happening around C. With Zerd not lasting for long, APA has found a mistake of BPS near C. Zerd is still surviving, but not for long. At the same time, Spirit Renery team has pushed A, but they have struggled to find tanks to kill. Ventium is still very healthy, and we can find Ventium now down to one shot. Great shots onto F. The hit point's still in favor of APA. They also have the cap points, and Spirit Renery team, they have to start killing off tanks. But Spirit Renery team is also losing tanks at the moment here. General is a one-shot. Ventium is down. Zerd is down. Ghosty is down. General will be taken out by Daze. Way to success is now trying to get Daze out of the way. It's a bounce onto Daze here. Can he survive and take out some more tanks? But he's been shot at from the back and tracked. APA, they got Ufi Josh out of the way. Last AFK is low, but that kill onto Netcase is going to do everything. Well done to APA. That push on C actually worked for them. It was a bold move, but it paid off brilliantly. Meanwhile, Spirit Renery team, they tried to push A, but all they found is an isolated Ventium. Ventium, unlucky player here. Being the sacrificial lamb twice. But it doesn't matter, because he's done more than 2k damage and absorbed a push coming from Spirit Renery team. Bought time for APA to push on the other side, where they found a couple of isolated tanks littered near B and C. And I think Spirit Renery team, they're steadily losing focus, and also the organization that they need to start to get their act together. APA was able to contain Spirit Renery team, and they really worked their numbers well, and they have control over the map, and yeah, overall they seem to have a bit more control in the battle with Spirit Renery team. In the last two matches, in the last match, they seem to be a little bit all over the place. But it's still going up evenly. Will we see a tiebreaker here? APA, they're now on the match point. They look very robust in the last match, but this is still not over, because this can still go either way. BPS. Sometimes, I mean, B and P can sound very similar, so I apologize if I kind of mixed that up. But I also mixed up both Spirit Renery team and also Gravitas team a lot tonight, so... Oh, it wasn't directed to me. Okay, it wasn't directed to me. Okay. I throw my hands up, okay? I am not going to indulge in the drama that is unfolding on the channel. Okay, let's get up high and say APA blue team from the south spawn and Gravitas. No. I'm sorry, BPS. I'm sorry for confusing both of your teams too many times tonight, and please accept my apologies. We are seeing Ufi Josh plotting a lot of tanks of APA, unable to pull a shot, but this is the information that Spirit Renery team needs. And we're going to be seeing a big push coming in from Santiago. Nick Ace in charge of this push, trying to get Kitsune out of the way. Zerd with full health will go in and get Kitsune now. This has to send the entropy. This is all about focus fire. This is all about shot efficiency. Rarity on the other hand is trying to get Uni out of the way, but AP also pushing onto Ufi Josh. There are fights happening from both three sides actually, not just two, but most of the fights is happening around B. Kitsune is out, Santiago is also out, and Mary could put a good shot onto Ghost. Last AFK is looking to push out onto Ghosty as well, but Dan is also down. APA now leading by lots of hit points. Josh is a one-shot. Ghosty is now dead. El Murray is quite low. And Zerd is trying to put a shot onto El Murray. But last AFK is blocking the shell of Zerd. And then Josh bounces onto El Murray for the first shell. Second shell also bounced. And third shell. Oh, F is definitely not having the best day here. All 3 shells bounced onto El Murray, could have been the kill there. And now the attention of APS turned to Zerd. Zerd is the last person standing, and wow, what a quick match it is. APA has now won 4-2. Amazing stuff. This pretty much is pretty much showing APA how strong they are individually and how they can work together and put most of their shots in. I think Spirit Renery team, they are again spreading a lot. I mean APA as well, but they weren't able to deal with APA individually. And I mean, look at Zerd has done a good job. Obviously, 8 shots have gone in, but General has bounced 3 here. Ghosty bounced a couple, but F here, at least 3 shots bounced, and this is hurtful. Dan, on the other hand, almost all shells in, but the case also almost all shells in, and Sheridan only able to put like 2 shells in. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't think Spirit Renery team has bounced a lot of shells. Maybe it's just because of APA, their focus fire is on point and they were able to take out tanks more quickly than Spirit Renery team does. So with this match going in favor of APA, this is going to be it. APA has won 4-2 and will now have 8 round wins after tonight. What a match. What a game. Let me just reload the page. Okay, we will go. We have results for the second round of the second stage. Ooh, Raid won against Jokes 4-1. Well done to Raid. And they are now tied with Jokes with 2 round wins. Congratulations to Raid. That was a great result there. Ikra 4-1 against Gravitas team. And that's a huge result for them, with Pink still playing against Serenity. With that result, we can say we can see the leaderboard has changed a little bit now. Ikra has entered the top 4 with Raid because they have won Jokes 4-1, with Jokes winning 4-3 in the first set. Raid will overtake Jokes on the leaderboard and will get the 7th place. APA will go home with 8 round wins and will lead the 5th place by 4 round wins. So all APA needs to do 2 days after, they have Ikra and then they have Jokes. If they are able to win one of them, at least one of them, no, I am wrong. They are not going to be facing Jokes 2 days after. So the first opponent is Gravitas and then it's Ikra. If they're able to win at least one of them, we can pretty much say they are through to the top, to the Blitz Ultimate Cup, and I say congratulations APA, title contenders for the Blitz Ultimate Cup. And more can you say about this? Challengers here. Do we have results? Oh, Onyx Gan team beat ASN 4-1. Well done to Onyx Gan team. They're going to be facing TQT in the grand final, and that will be streamed by Nino and Fujit in English. I think I think I'm not sure if there are news on the EU server for other streamers, but take a look at that too. Not sure if it's open information, but I believe there is there is commentary in Russian. As for lower echelon championship, we have Zenith knocking out Eagle 4-2. Well done to Zenith, and it will be Zenith versus Win in the grand final, and I can't wait to stream that. Arguably, both Win and Zenith are higher. Well, to be honest, I don't know. The grand finals of both Challengers Tournament and Lower Echelon Championship, the standards is quite close, so I won't be surprised if we all. The fixture is gone. The fixture graphics gone. Okay, here you can see something. Okay, so you can see some results happening at some results already. This is the result for the lower echelon championship, where Zenith has won 4-2 against Eagle, and Win will face Zenith in the grand final. Meanwhile, we have Onyx Gang team beating ASM 4-1, and they will face TQT in the grand final. Great job to TQT and Onyx Gang team. This is going to be a stream to watch, and there will be rewards for watching that stream. So tomorrow, again, the same time as the stream starts tonight, but I won't be streaming the Challengers Tournament Grand Finals. I will be streaming the Lower Echelon Championship Grand Final. I hope to see you all there here, and watch both Win and Zenith fight for the crown of the Lower Echelon Championship champion title. These two clans were in the Blitz Premier Cup in the same group, Group 1, and in that tournament, Win has beaten Zenith 3-1 if I remember correctly. So Win has a good track record against Zenith. Can Zenith beat Win this time round? It's a best of 9, so the team that wins the first 5 battles will win the fixture and the title of the Lower Echelon Championship. Same goes for Challengers Tournament. Again, a best of 9. The first 5 victories for the team would give them the title of the champion of the Challengers Tournament. But for tonight, I think we can say that there is a contender, that there is a clan that is APA is probably going to qualify to the Blitz Ultimate Cup. But as for Spirit Renery team, a big result against Ikra, a 4-0 result, and they have beaten them 2 times now. If they are tied with the same number of round wins, Spirit Renery team will go through. Question is, how will the final top 4 shape out? So let me see if we have results for Serenity versus the pink team. Oh, we got results. Serenity has beaten Pink Team 4-2. Unfortunately, I think the Pink Team, they have to work really, really hard in the final 5 rounds because they are now 2 rounds down from the top 4. Their final games are, first, they will be facing Raid. They will face Raid, they will face Spirit Renery team, Gravitas, Ikra, and Jokes. Potentially, they have all the they have the hardest games out of the way. APA and Serenity, although they lost both, they went really close. But if they were able to win the remaining 5 or even 4 of them, I think the pink team can still qualify. But they just have to hope that the teams above them will slip up. But I would say APA has won very important matches, and the remaining matches they will have Gravitas, Ikra, Jokes, Raid, and Serenity. Potentially 2 or even 3 important ones, but then there are like Jokes and Raid that they should be able to win and put them at 10 round wins, which will be more than enough to qualify, in my opinion. So yeah, that is it. I think with some time, with some time left on the stream, I mean, let's actually analyze a game, a match on OpenStart. Let's look at not OpenStart. There's no OpenStart game here. Let's actually analyze the first game, the first match on Bowling Dyke. And let's find out now. The north spawn. We will go up high and see what boat is going to do. We are now seeing air raids onto the city, which is... I remember there's a game that you can go call for air raids. Is it Counter-Strike? Is it CSGO? I can't remember. But you can't do that with tank splits. It will be funny if Wargaming decides to add the air raid option when you kill when you do a certain amount of damage. That will be funny, but Wargaming, please don't use my idea there. That is just a joke. But it's not called by any of the clans here. No one has called for an air raid onto the city. No tankers there, so no damage has been done. We could see Ufi Josh being spotted up last, and also Uni gets shot at, but Kitsune, very aggressive on the sea. A boat move, I would say. But then, if Kitsune is not spotting up tanks near the city, then maybe you can just go for C anyway. But let's continue to watch. Look at Kitsune immediately dropping into C, trying to get a cap lead for APA. Meanwhile, Spirit Renery team, they're holding back. They're not making a lots of aggressive moves at the moment here. They might try to get A, and Santiago is steadily going to that area. But look at APA. They got C. Are they going to make a push? Potentially, it could work, but they don't have a lot of information. Are they going to take a deep breath and, make a push? Maybe they're waiting for Object Ray. Okay, so the information that APA has right now is these 3 tanks here. Dan, General, and Ghosty. As for BPS, they don't. As for APA, they haven't spotted up the tanks near A. But they have spotted Almeri, Ventium, Uni, and probably a couple more. I think they're waiting on Object 3 to see if they find something more. A is going to be captured, but look at this. Okay, so there is a problem with this, is that they don't have the cap lead. They want to try to bring it below 80 cap points of gap so that they can just flip it with only 1 kill. Problem is that these 3 tanks are spotted. If they go in a little bit too early, then there is some time. Look at A, it's only halfway through. APA, if they pay attention to the cap points, they will see suddenly there is a huge increase in the cap points, and then they would know there are 3 tanks there. They already spotted 3 tanks in the middle. The only unknown in this equation is the 215B, which is near the spawn. But if you have spotted 6 tanks that are 3 of them on A, 3 of them near B, you know that they are spread out. Oh gosh, let's continue. Spirit Renery team will send 3 tanks there, so maybe this is an indication. I think APA could potentially make use of this moment to push. Yeah, as you can see, APA, they can just go for a push immediately. Now F has been spotted very far back. The buildings will provide cover. And then you have these tanks can just go down, take out these tanks, while these tanks are turning, especially when Dan is also not in the position to put crossfire for a few seconds, that these 3 tanks can go in. But they don't want to hesitate because BPS Spirit Renery team will have crossfire from A over to B, so they just have to commit to the push. There are enough tanks to do that. There is a light tank from behind that could quickly relocate if things go a bit awry. That's what I would call it. There's a tank near C, so there are like 3 tanks that can flank from behind, 3 tanks that can flank forward. Both Ghosty and General would not be long for this world if they push now. But they are not doing. Okay, so what can Spirit Renery team do now if they see AP pushing down? They could stay where they are and start moving immediately in a straight line towards B like that. No, like that. So that they are able to come in to shut down the potential push, and these tanks could push forward instead. So actually, I do see a point why AP don't make a push immediately, although it looks like it's a good time to do so. But that's because Spirit Renery team, if AP pushes now, they can go see General and then can immediately push in, take these 3 tanks out while the tanks from behind, the tanks of Ventium, Object 3 are flanking from behind. And immediately it's a 3 versus 3 situation, and the tanks from A can quickly come in to support the team. So I like what AP is doing here. They are not going in just yet. Although, let's see what's going to happen. Exactly that. That is because they have the cap lead. They don't want to make unnecessary moves. Although they really have not. They have less to lose compared to Spirit Renery team in terms of the position of the leaderboard they're in at the moment. I mean, at that moment when Spirit Renery team is capturing A with 3 tanks, which could be indicative when playing, then I would have to make that call. These 2 tanks could be taken out in no. Okay, now that Spirit Renery team has spotted APA holding near B, what they're doing now is come back, provide cover to both Ghosty and General. They will have to find good position, maybe the bushes around here, maybe near these buildings. They do have to provide cover. During this moment, when APA spots the Spirit Renery team relocating, maybe this is a good idea now to push. Now that the crossfire coming from here is non-existent, there is a couple of seconds where General and Ghosty won't be well supported. So they have now 4 tanks near B, so they have the numerical advantage there. I think they will see Zerd go away, and I think this is the call for AP to push now. So I like that they waited a little bit, wait for the Renery team to go back and regroup. And during this moment, this is the exact opportunity that APA can push and take relatively minimal damage. Let's see. No time. And that an F there will have to come in. So this is an opportunity wasted potentially. But APA is still doing nicely with the hit point pool. Okay, Dave timed this one well. Dave timed it wasn't no. After I said they can now push. They pushed us only a few seconds later. And look at Spirit Renery team. They are still looking. These 4 tanks are still not there yet. APA has grasped the perfect opportunity to kill both General and Ghosty. So this is really good job there. And Dan will be there, but can you deal with like 5 tanks right here? It will be really hard, to be honest with you. With the hit point spots, they're now going to make a push onto Ghosty and General, and this could be big. But then, have they made this move a little bit too late? Because at the same time, Spirit Renery has now come back to support the team, and the focus now onto Ghosty. General is also quite low. Yes. Now, what can Spirit Renery team do here when AP makes a push? Ghosty is in deep trouble. Is it a good idea to send the 215 to go in, absorb some damage? It will be hard. The 2 tanks are still at the back, still not quite there. APA didn't go like full on in so that they won't get shot by the 2 tanks from the back. It's really hard to call what BPS the Spirit Renery team can do here. This is a great opportunity for APA. Let's see what more can be interpreted in this match. And Ghosty a one-shot General, and Ghosty still hanging on, and the tanks from behind the Spirit Renery is trying to come to support them. Okay, and immediately you can see AP has taken 2 tanks out. They lost some hit points, but not a lot. They share the hit points quite equally at this moment in time. How will Spirit Renery team deal with this? But it might be too late. We have General and Ghosty now down. Dan is going to be the next focus for APA, but BPS is trying to shut down Object 3. APA is not making it. Okay, that's an interesting call. They're trying to take Dan out of the way, which is potentially a good call because Dan is a auto reload that could have been catastrophic if APA allows Dan to run riot. But it's going to be hard still for APA. BPS has pretty much now got a lot closer with these tanks, but they weren't exactly in position. So what I will call potentially here, although it looks very grim, I think at this point you could say it's a game that Spirit Renery lose anyway. But I think the last ditch effort will be trying to see if Dan can hold here, there, and try to get Uni out, and then maybe Object 3 then. Don't know, it's hard, to be honest with you. Easy for Spirit Renery team to bring Crossfire in, and Dan is going to struggle. If Spirit Renery team is doing nothing, then APA is going to win this one quite comfortably. Understandably, we have Uni trying to put shots onto Dan, and Fenzium gets shot at by a lot. APA don't want to drop their guard down. As we can see, a 1 versus 1 is happening right here. We follow that right now. Kitsune versus... Okay, look at the minimap. I missed that push coming from APA. Not a highlighter, sorry. Coming from this side, trying to pincer the 3 tanks there. Good move from APA. And Josh, 1 versus 1. It's a miss. It's a bounce from Kitsune to Kitsune from Upin Josh, and Kitsune is steadily winning this 1 versus 1 fight. We can also see some action going on in the middle. APA coming to push there, but Upin Josh will not last for long, and APA looking strong, trying to get both F and Zerd out of the way, and there's nothing much Spirit Renery team could do. Uni down to 1 shot, F gets taken out. Yep, so pretty much it's all over for Spirit Renery team. So let's actually go back and see that situation where there are 3 tanks capturing A. Oh my god. Right, there were 3 tanks capturing A, so let's just go back, blah blah blah. Okay, we're back here. We're back in this situation. Spirit Renery team, I think what they could improve on is don't send too many Type 71s on A, but I mean they pretty much have information around B, like a lot of tanks there. Ufbija is very important in getting the spots, but you won't find much if you go back because they know pretty much APA is near B, and what Ufbija is doing right now is not going to give them even more information. So what I might do potentially, this is also a risk. I don't think it's going to work 100%, so don't quote me on that. But I would suggest like Zerd can stay near A, try to provide crossfire potentially. Maybe Nick Case and Ufbin Josh can push even more forward. Maybe, and see if Nick Case is able to put a shot onto Kitsune there, and then allow Ufbin Josh to do a 1 versus 1, and see if Ufbin Josh can win that fight. And if Nick Case is able to put a couple of shots onto Kitsune, maybe we can try come in alongside Zerd, trying to support the tanks there. But I don't know if this is going to work. This is a gamble. I think it needs to be tested out. This is just a theory. I am not 100% confident that this will work, but another way that you could do, Zerd, get unspotted first. Don't telegraph your movement to APA. Get unspotted first. Then you can just relocate and fortify these tanks. So you can also go back, but don't let APA know. Problem is we are talking about an extremely high level of gameplay between two clans. They will notice every single move that you do. So I would say, I say all the time, avoid giving information to the other team. So for example, third should not try to move that just yet. Wait a little longer. It's not exactly like Zerd is in a position that you can't crossfire from here. Just get the spawner first. Wait a couple more seconds, and these couple of seconds could be crucial and could stop a push coming from APA. And maybe not a good idea to like put 3 tanks or on A, because that also gives information to APA that these 3 tanks in the middle are isolated. So that's just my 2 cents here. Maybe it's something both teams can learn. Avoid giving information, especially when you're trying to rotate. And you have to know your strategy well, because especially the weaknesses in your strategy. I mean, this strategy that Spirit Renery team is doing, Dan, General, and Ghosty, especially when they're in IS4s, not Type 71s, they can be easily singled out. So they have to make sure that this weakness is minimized as much as they could. And APA love that how they are aware of the situation. I apologize, I will take that back about APA being a bit too late in the push. They actually timed it perfectly right. Avoid the crossfire coming from May, so they don't take a lot of hit points with the kills on both Ghosty and General. Yeah, and this has been May actually with the analysis of this match. Hopefully this will explain stuff. Hopefully this is clear, and hopefully you know what can be improved on this one. Thank you all for watching. I will see you tomorrow on the Apex stream, as I will be following the Challenges Tournament Brown versus SZ. After that, on the EU server, I'll be following Win versus Zenith in the Lower Echelon Championship. That's all for me tonight. Thank you for people who stayed in and watch my analysis on the first match on Molenbeek. Thank you all, and see you soon. Bye for now.